Surely, here in America, here in the land of the free, human beings would be free and safe from the people sworn to protect them. Here in America, in the land of the free, human beings are free, right?
And has been shoved off into the dusty, considered to be useless corners of the continent to die out of sight and out of mind. And this is the consummation. So there's no place to back up to. They're talking about potentially contaminating the water supply on a destitute reservation, running it under land that was already illegally taken from these people, which was their best farmland, the most arable land, sacred sites such that are flooded. You got to make a stand somewhere, and this is where.
Lock us up at the gates of hell and we won't back down. We will stand our ground. Why-ya-hi, why-ya-hi.
What is up, you beautiful, beautiful people? Welcome back to Protect the Sacred. Welcome back to The Rage. I'm your boy, Nakasuchi. And today we are going to continue looking at the Dakota Access Pipeline protest, hashtag NODAPL. We're going to continue looking at the indigenous peoples fighting against big oil and corporate greed. And we are going to continue to look at a police force and a state government hell-bent on harming its own people. Again, with these videos, I don't do a Patreon screen. This is about educational purposes. And none of these videos are monetized in my gain. Of course, I've been demonetized since I started this series, but even if I weren't demonetized, I would not be monetizing these videos. These videos are for education, so you can learn about this protest. And I highly urge you to watch Black Snake Killers, who I'm taking all of this coverage from so far. Now, I will be getting into other coverage. I'll be using a lot of Jordan Sheridan coverage, for instance, but that'll be later on. Right now, I'm focusing on this documentary because it goes more in depth than anything I've ever seen, and you should watch it. You should watch it beginning to end. So in the last video, in the last story video, because I did an update video, if you guys haven't seen that, it's called Victory. You should go check it out. We did have a recent victory, but then Trump has went and signed executive orders to speed up the process of building these pipelines. So, you know, the battle's far from over. We have victories, they have victories, the fight continues. And that's why I think it's so important to show you what happened, because the fight does continue. So let's get into it.
In North Dakota, construction was still paused at the Cannonball Ranch just north of the expanding indigenous camps. Despite the legal limbo at the Missouri River crossing, construction on the Dakota Access Pipeline continued miles outside of camp. "20 miles west, two warriors, one from the Standing Rock Nation and the other from Rosebud Sioux Tribe, locked down the pipeline construction equipment."
We're here to shut down equipment on one of the routes to the pipeline.
Here to stop this pipeline in a non-violent manner. Come in peace, with prayer and unity and solidarity with my indigenous brothers and sisters. And I'm here to protect the water over Kakias.
Police used bolt cutters to extract both warriors, as construction equipment remained immobilized for hours. The water protectors were arrested, along with a few others that were providing water.
All right, so now we're really getting into this fight now. And I promised you guys at the beginning of this, I wouldn't just show you the actions of the Morton County Police, the actions of the oil companies, the actions of Tiger Swan. I told you I would show you the direct actions that water protectors were taking. And here we have those direct actions beginning. Those two water protectors are heroes, putting their bodies in harm's way to stop the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Peacefully, without using weaponry, unlike what the Morton County Police say, unlike what the Morton County Police did. And this was the start of that. This was everything escalating to a point and taking direct action to save this world, to save this planet, to save Mother Earth. And I respect the hell out of them for that.
On September 2nd, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe advised DAPL of sacred sites in the path of the pipeline. The next day, water protectors in the area arrived for a daily prayer at the entrance to the Cannonball Ranch, found pipeline construction crews bulldozing the sacred sites. As the bulldozers destroyed the ancient Lakota prayer circles, the people moved forward demanding the construction crews to stop. Private mercenaries, lacking permits to operate in the state of North Dakota, unleashed dogs and pepper spray on the people.
They're still threatening to stop against us, and we're not doing anything.
Multiple people were bitten as the construction vehicles and security were chased away. The area would be named Sacred Ground because the people's blood was now in the soil.
And as I said, it's escalating. So now they're taking their bulldozers to the sacred sites of the Lakota people. Now they're bringing in Tiger Swan, an outside group of militant mercenaries led by Eric Prince, who private emails show that this group, Tiger Swan, was using anti-insurgency tactics that they used in the Middle East against extremist Muslims, against the Native Americans, against the people that own the land, the true owners of the land. You've seen the blood there dripping from the dog's mouth. So I have to ask you, who was the violent perpetrators in this protest? The Native Americans demonstrating peacefully, or the police force drawing blood?
That evening, the sheriff claimed the water protectors used unlawful actions and protected the security company that was operating without a permit. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe filed a restraining order against Energy Transfer Partners to stop pipeline construction after they destroyed the sacred sites. People flooded into the camps as footage of the dog attacks spread across the internet.
And that footage, I do believe, was provided by Vice News, who were the first national organization to talk about what was going on in Standing Rock. And I will always love Vice News for that. Even though I don't like some of their stories, I will always have respect for Vice News for that. And it was around this time that Jordan Sheridan would start coming to the camp. And I'm going to start using some of Jordan's footage of the camp if I can find it. There's reasons why it's hard to find. But you have to see the escalation, and I think it's as apparent as fuck on who the good guys are here. I've often said in streams that it is the Native Americans that are on the front lines of this climate war. And now you can see what I mean.
3 days later, another direct action, miles from camp, also stopped construction.
Our children deserve to have clean water. Our children deserve to be safe. And these pipelines bring in man camps and hardcore drugs, which leads to sex trafficking of our Native women.
This pipeline can never be built, so we're here to make sure that that never happens.
Today, the people shut down Site 121. That's where we're at right now, currently. And then up the road, they shut down 122, 123, and 124.
These people, all they're looking at is the money sign. They're looking at nothing else but the M-O-N-E-Y. And you know what? We're not having it. We're not going for it. For the next generation, we have to stay strong.
Be on the front lines. This is your movement. This is not one particular people's movement. This is everybody's movement. Okay. Everybody's right to be right here to protect and defend.
Did you think you would ever see again Native Americans chanting loudly in opposition to the federal government? That was supposed to be in the history books, right? And they always paint the history books so inaccurately. Like, look at those savage Indians killing the innocent soldiers when it was the other way around. I am proud to be Native American, even if it's mixed breed, mixed blood, half-blood. I am proud of my heritage, and I am proud that my people are the ones fighting for this earth. And they're exactly right there. This is everybody's movement. This isn't a movement just for Native Americans to protect Mother Earth, because it's your earth too. So it's your movement as well.
The Department of the Interior, the Department of Justice, and the Army stepped in and asked NODAPL for a voluntary halt of construction within 20 miles of the protest site. The departments asked for respect of First Amendment rights and treaty rights as the tribe continued to file injunctions. In the days after, water protectors traveled outside the 20-mile boundary to an active construction site and locked down to pipeline equipment.
And I know what you're saying there. Well, why did they go beyond that 20-mile radius to continue their actions? Because they had to. Because they knew Dakota wasn't going to stop. The access pipeline wouldn't stop. And this is a fight for the earth, for our future generations. So you don't just stop when they tell you to.
They're shutting down work for the day. Please turn off the vehicle. Have a good day. Thanks, you too. You get a day off of pay now, that's cool.
There are not any conflicts.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you see any guns there? Do you see any weapons at all? Do you see violence being used against the workers? Or do you see Native Americans being peaceful, shutting down that site, joking around with the workers, allowing them to leave? Did you see any blood at all? No, you didn't. The only blood we've seen so far was that of the Native Americans drawn by the police and Tiger Swan.
I'm here to show love to my brothers and sisters of Standing Rock and all the other relatives that came here to stand up to defend the sacred land and water.
We're here locking down to this pipeline machinery and stopping construction in this site for today and letting the world know that pipeline construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline is still continuing, contrary to what a lot of folks thought after last Friday's intervention by the Obama administration, making it seem like they were going to stop the pipeline. Pipeline continues to be built, beyond that 20-mile buffer.
And there you see white people joining the Native Americans. And this was one of the best things about this protest, was that goodwill developed between both sides of my culture, developed between Native Americans and white people joining them. And the oil companies would use that to their advantage, because Native American women would be raped during this protest, and most of us believe it was the oil companies and Tiger Swan infiltrating the camps doing that. But it did sow division, which was their purpose, because Native Americans have a very long history of their women being raped by white Europeans.
County responded with riot squads and police officers armed with long rifles.
They came up on us from the backside with automatic rifles pointed at unarmed citizens, and these guys came in riot gear from the front. All the guys in the back on the tractors back there all had arms, M16s, whatever they had, I don't know if they're automatic, and they came up on us deep.
20 water protectors are arrested.
Stay where you are. You're under arrest for criminal trespass.
On press, sir. On press. So I ask you, my audience, is this the representation we want our police to be giving of America? Is this the representation of America goodwill towards the original inhabitants of this land? I ask you, my audience, is this okay? Is this right? And I ask you to join the fight, to take those actions. When I speak of protest, I don't mean standing in front of a building or standing in a road blocking traffic, holding signs and chanting. I mean direct action to take our power back, direct action to save our planet. We can all save this world if we choose to. I want to thank you for joining me today. Those of you that joined me in this story, in this history that happened not too long ago. If you like the videos, hit the thumbs up. More are coming. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll see you soon.